The NFL has 3 days to appeal. What do you think is happening right now and will happen by 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, Albert?
I think there are a lot of league officials that are probably on Twitter right now, like just sort of taking the temperature for like what the public reaction to all of this is. Because I don't think I think that's a very relevant piece of the whole thing. So how's the public reacting? I think that's a piece of it. Of course, I think they're going through their own options here. And really, to me, there are three options. Number one, you can pin this on Sue Robinson if you're them. And you can say, we negotiated this process 2 years ago with the union. We respect the process. We don't agree with her view of the facts, but the process was a good one, and we'll stand by what she said. The second option would be you go to 8 or 10 or 12 games, and you say, now this is our decision to do this. We believe there's a little bit more there than Sue Robinson thought. And if they do that, then it becomes their decision. And then the question is that enough? Like, does the public look at an 8 or 10 or 12 game suspension as enough? And then maybe because Deshaun Watson wants closure, he accepts it. The third option is the nuclear option, which is you say, we're going to do what we want to do all along. We're going to give him a year. And then you wind up in court, I think. So, and if you wind up in court, that's the other part of this, Dan, that's really interesting is if you wind up in court, that could mean Deshaun Watson plays in the opener. Yeah. Because at that point, if he sues, then almost certainly the union would seek a temporary restraining order to stay the suspension. And I think he'd probably get it. And if a court stays the suspension, well, then Deshaun Watson's playing week 1 against the Carolina Panthers. So, I think the easy route out here for the league is to pin it on Sue Robinson, because the other two options are taking ownership of the decision. And I think with one option, is it enough? With the other option, it's you're going to war again.
What do you think happens?
For a while, I've thought that they were preparing to leave this alone. And I still believe that. Like, I think that they've set it up in a way, and I've said this to you, like they've set it up in a way where they can leave it alone because they already got word out there. And you and I talked about it, I think, a few weeks ago, where like the judge was clearly upset that so much of this became public, right? Well, why would the league, which is so PR savvy, risk angering a former district court judge?
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that? Well, they would do that because they felt like the thing may not be going their way. And if she makes a decision they don't like, then they would have the recourse to say, we tried. And so I think the easy route out now is to pin this on Robinson and say, this was her decision. This is a new process. We negotiated this with the union. The owners don't want us involved in every piece of this anymore. We're going to respect the process that we set up 2 years ago with the union. To me, that's like the cleanest exit. And I don't think it's a value judgment on what happened with Watson. I think it's just sort of protecting themselves going forward. The other two, I think would be more of a moral play.
Yeah.
And I think the question is, like, do they have the appetite to spend a year in court with another star player and make so many facets of the NFL season about Deshaun Watson? Because I think you and I both know, you remember the year Brady was in court the whole year, like that would not go away. Like he'd probably be playing week 1. He'd probably play the whole season because the court process takes a while, and it would be a talking point throughout the NFL season.
In a month from now, nobody's going to remember this judge's name. This is going to be on Roger Goodell. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, he either did or he didn't, try to, drop the hammer on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And trying to, they are PR savvy, but I wonder if you go, hey, we tried, but we have to respect the process here. Now we have to move to change what, the penalties are. Because all she did, if you read the 15 pages, which I know you did, she just used the history, recent history of punishments here. You bring up Zeke Elliott or you bring up Ben Roethlisberger. She said, yeah, the NFL made your case. You made your case, but, this is what I'm going to give. She can't change the policy, the punishments that you've given, I don't think. Right. That's what I was surprised that the NFL thought. She's going to do something on her own, which that's not part of her job, I don't think. It was just, hey, you asked me to look at this. I'm looking at this. This is what I'm recommending. That's it.
Judges operate on precedent, and judges, like, her charge in this whole thing is to make a decision that'll allow her to write a brief that is appeal proof. Like, the goal of any judge in a situation like this is to do something that's very fair and down the middle, and like takes into account everything that's put in front of them and nothing else, right? And then in the end, be able to put something on paper that is going to be very, very hard to challenge. And if you read the opinion, like if you go into it, it's really interesting, some of the things that are in there. Like, you can see her playing both sides of it, right? One of the most glaring things to me was she both found him responsible for sexual assault and also called it nonviolent. Like, to me, like, that was maybe the most interesting thing. And then she came up with her own definition of sexual assault, which is unwanted sexual contact. Well, is that by definition violent? So like there are a lot of things in there where it's like, you can see how she's sort of serving both sides. And I this is just me reading it, Dan. It's really hard, if you look at it, to challenge her process. And that's the one thing everybody here has to remember, right? Is if the NFL appeals this and appeals it to Goodell or his designee, they can't change the facts. The facts are the facts now, right? Like, so you can't go and find 8 more women to talk to and change the facts of this case or the facts of this case. And so, like, what you'd be doing is you'd be challenging the process that Sue Robinson went through. And if you read that brief, it's actually pretty hard to challenge the process she took to get to the decision that she made.